Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking about SNDL once more. Now I'm going to go briefly through technical analysis. This is a long series of updates, and so far we've been on point every single time, so hopefully we continue on with this trend. I'm going to go through technical analysis briefly to give you a perspective onto the psychology of traders. Make sure to support us by dropping a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. And if you like this video, please share it. Let's jump right into it. So before going on towards the due diligence part and the news, quickly into the technical analysis, the 1 week perspective, what we get to see here is a nice, somewhat of a push, but still the moving averages are a little bit fuzzy. It still is somewhat bearish, but it's trying more of revert those things out. Momentum looks really strong. Average directional index shows in a potential of a trend forming, and willing percent R is sitting closer to overbought. Now, on the 1 day perspective, what we get to see here is something along off the same lines, but MACD looks like it might retract a little. Momentum looks a little bit pulling back, and the willing percent R very much of the similar scenario. Moving averages are all bullish, and it's still bullish all the way until the 40-cent mark, where it escapes the trading action zone. That's where reversals are likely between the green line and the red line. Hold the 10 SMA above the 30 EMA, bullish as well. 10 SMA shows in a very strong trend. Now, there's a lot of questions that I've seen online. It's like, hey Ed, what happened to this one? It was really bullish, and you know what? The More Act just passed the House. Why is it dipping? And this is very simple. It's buy the rumor, sell the news, and I've talked about it so many times. Now comes into what's next, and there is other catalysts coming for this. Don't get me wrong. Now, on a 2-hour perspective, we get to see that fear is overextended. As soon as it breaks the 63 cents, it's bearish on here on the 2-hour scale, but hopefully it doesn't do that. Now, on the moving average band, it's expected to trade between 45 cents on the top, 41 in the middle, and 37 in the bottom. We've seen that it's been defined to that and it hasn't really followed through. The unbalanced volume looks interesting because it looks like it has the same amount of investors between 27th and today. It just looks like the inflow and outflow has been going opposite direction for a couple of days now, even though we've seen pushes. Stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both telling you to be careful. There is a pullback coming. Now, on the charts, what we get to see is a resistance at 102 in the Fibonacci retracements, followed by 156, followed by $2 and $2.45. The current support on the Fibonacci retracement sits at 13 cents. Now, significant support lines and resistances can be found by the price lines. Currently, the significant support is at the 65 cents, below there 52 cents. Below there, 38 cents, and then we go all the way down to 29 cents. Significant resistances, we're looking at 80-cent mark. Of course, actually 74, and then 80 cents, and then 93 cents, and then we're looking at 106, and then right above there, around 110. Now what we can do next is trying to look into some of the latest news and information. This is their website, and if you haven't watched my previous video, you'll find it in the description below, including the original one where I do go on and talk a bit more about their presentations, their products, feature products, their vape pens, their buds, even their edibles coming up. Feature recipes for edibles and everything between, oils. These guys have different levels of the product itself, anywhere from, let's say here, I think 5 different brands. Anywhere from premium to more of the budget quality. Latest news, you get to see that they filed a new shelf registration statement. A lot of people are scared of an offering. This is their 5 products that I had to talk about before. Sundial, Top Leaf, Misi Weed, Palmetto, and Grasslands. And it includes a bunch of things as well. There's been more talks about expanding in terms of the US. It is a Canadian company. Now, in terms of the latest events, I couldn't find anything. If we were looking into even the presentation seems to not have been updated from the last time. So, alright, we're going to move on and try to dig into the SEC filings, okay? So this website is fintel.io. It's found on my Twitter page if you'd like to watch it. Go in and find it. It's a free source. Institutional buyers, what we get to see here is on the 25th, we've seen a bit more additional shares. It doesn't look like there is much going on. I mean, there has been in the last week, ETF Managers Group has decreased their shares by somewhat of around 4 million shares. And the current offerings, or the shelf offering, is sitting at $200 million. Now, first of all, I've seen a lot of companies have shelf offering or registered shelf. and nothing happened. That registered shelf is understandable, and a lot of these companies have them, so when they want to go on for an offering, then they hit people off with the offering instead of having to file this going on. But it still is a reminder that, hey, this company can have an offering. And even when it comes in towards, let's say, compliance. Let's look here if they mention anything about compliance. And no. There is the compliance about December 28th for the reverse split right on here. And that's how you usually find it. You go on to one of their latest filings and start searching for the word compliance. They have... right here. NASDAQ has the right not to grant additional cure period if the company will not be able to cure the deficiency and is otherwise eligible. Now, they might be looking for 180-day extension, but they're still not compliant, and their compliance ends on December 28th. Now, given that they want to get it out of the way and not look for, let's say, an extension, that means from December 28th, they have to do the reverse split by December 14th to give them the 10 days above $1. So that gives us around a week or so to trade it comfortably. But still, they might hit you on it next week with a reverse split. It's a little bit something to keep in the back of mind. And be, sure, perhaps, that's something of a risk that you understand because you need to understand all the risks involved. Next is, this was actually a little bit while ago. I covered this one, the elimination of senior notes secured senior notes for lien convertible note. Okay, so we already covered that part. Now the big thing, the House just passed the MORE Act, the one with about the weed legal decriminalization, and it was good. Now comes in what's next. Okay, weed is not legal right now. It's not decriminalized. It's still got to go towards the Senate. And who's in the Senate right now? Well, could it pass the Senate? Senate Majority Mitch McConnell, a Republican, has stated in the past that he has no intentions on passing a marijuana legalization bill anytime soon. With McConnell as the standing Senate majority, who remains firmly opposed to the marijuana reform, it is highly unlikely that the MORE Act will pass in the Senate, said Nicole Cosby, Chief Data Compliance Officer at Philo. In 2018, the midst of discussion around the Farm Bill, legalize hemp, he explicitly said that he does not have any plans to endorse a legalization of marijuana, adding that he considers marijuana and hemp to be two separate plants. Okay? And the biggest thing about this one right now, the next catalyst, is Georgia runoff. Because if Democrats hold the Senate and they get to vote on the MORE Act, even if it does, if it gets voted after there, it has a high chance of passing because the Democrats would have the Senate. Now, here's why I hate to add politics into the mix because, hey, I really like not to discuss politics. I respect your politics views, and I'm a Canadian to have my own. But a big part of it is Georgia becomes in now a deciding vote. If we get two senators from Georgia, my understanding is that the Senate then becomes 50-50, and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris becomes the undecided vote, and it gets passed. Given that all Democrats vote yes and all Republicans vote no, and that is the scenario where I would imagine it. But of course, things change, and you might have a couple of Democrats saying no to it, and that's it. It's dead if all Republicans say no. So it's a little bit of uncertainty, and that's the worry that is causing trouble. Now, there's a lot of different articles going on with the GOP opposition and pulling back, but that's basically a little bit of a rough picture that I'm trying to draw here. Is that yes, there is catalyst. Yes, they can expand to the U.S. if it passes in the Senate, and if it passes in the Senate, relies on Mitch McConnell saying, hey, he's not willing to endorse it. He might actually try to go in the opposite direction, try to oppose it, and whip some votes for the other, to the no for not passing it. And that is a scary thing. And you have the compliance thing. They have self-offering. Now, I've been very bullish about this, and I know the sentiment looks like it's being a bit scary, but buy the rumors, sell the news, and if I was holding this one, I would secure my profits if I came all the way down from here. And you know what? In a week or two, when things settle and starts accumulating once again, I'll pick it up gladly. And that's what I've done. I closed my positions, but I'm not trying to scare anyone. If you still believe in this one, the next future, and you think that a reverse split is not seen or they're going to get 180-day extension, go ahead with it. And again, I'm not shorting this or anything. I'm just more of approaching this from more of a different perspective. And if you think that, hey, it's a good one, so why not cover your cost right now, sell, get some profit, and then buy it down if it dips. Because hey, panic is going to be big on this one. It's going to be pumps and dumps, so you want to be comfortable. Now, if you survived this long in this video, there is a Discord link below where we discuss things like this all day. You know, a lot of people ask me, hey Ed, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it's completely free. You know, sometimes I'm just bored in a pandemic and you might want to make use of that and ask me some questions. Please go ahead and join it if you would like to support this, and have a wonderful day.